Hello and welcome back to Movie Flakes. George R.R. Martin gives huge update on the Winds of Winter. So if you want to be in the show, then please come sit by George R.R. Martin if this describes you. You might recall that Martin is dealing with the most well-known incidents of writer's block in human history. Since at least 2010, he has been working on The Winds of Winter, the much-awaited penultimate book in his Game of Thrones trilogy. He is expressing his opinion about how the book is worth the wait as if to make up for more than 10 years of missed deadlines. The Winds of Winter is currently approximately 3/4 done, according to Martin on a livestream hosted by his publisher. However, he declined to give a release date out of concern that he could let his readers down. He also disclosed that this Game of Thrones book will be the longest one yet, referring to it as a gigantic book as enormous as a dragon. Can we really believe Martin? Because we've been duped before, and because the person detests being reminded of deadlines missed. People keep asking me, when is it going to be finished? So I've given up giving forecasts, said Martin. And after I calculate what I believe to be the best case scenario, events take place. Then everyone becomes upset because I lied. In making these predictions, I have never lied. They're the best I can do, but I believe I overestimate how much I can accomplish and underestimate how many distractions there will be from other projects and requests. About everything. How did Martin get himself into this situation? Dear reader, allow me to take you on a trip through the specters of past deadlines. In 2010, Martin joyously declared on his blog that The Winds of Winter's first 4 chapters were finished. Then, in 2011, things started to go wrong. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, he declined to provide a release date for the 6th book, claiming that some fans don't seem to understand that he is only providing predictions. I have a history of being overly optimistic. We were so young in 2011. How foolish. Martin stated that The Winds of Winter would be released in 2014 while speaking with the Spanish blog Adria's News in 2012. However, he did qualify that statement by saying, I am pretty poor for predictions. After 2014 passed without The Winds of Winter appearing, Martin's publisher then threw cold water on his fans' hopes. According to HarperCollins' Jane Johnson, I have no information about likely delivery. Writing these increasingly intricate books takes a tremendous amount of attention. Fans should definitely understand that these creatures are as long as 2 or 3 novels by other authors. However, as soon as January of 2016 rolled around, he said, I am not going to create another deadline for myself to trip over. Just the deadlines are making me anxious. The next time, I'm going to try that on my editor. Fans were frightened in September 2016 when The Winds of Winter was advertised on Amazon France with a publishing date of March 2017. However, HarperCollins has since revealed that the book was a big fat nothing burger. Back in January 2017, Martin believed that 2017 would unquestionably be his year. I anticipated being released this year. He posted on his blog. However, he continued to play with fans by writing, I'm still working on it, I have months to go. I still experience both good and bad days, and that's all I care to say. You should expect at least one Westeros book from me in 2018. Possibly even 2. A young guy can dream. Why don't you finish 1 book first, sir, and then we can discuss 2. In June 2018, it was revealed that Martin would co-write the pilot episode for the first of many Game of Thrones spin-offs that HBO had ordered. Fans who had been waiting impatiently for his next book were understandably worried. But Martin took to his trusted blog to reassure them. Work on Winds of Winter continues and remains my top priority, Martin said. It is ridiculous to think otherwise. Ridiculous. When the virus forced everyone into isolation in 2020, Martin was finally stranded at home with nothing to do but write. This was the perverted fulfillment of fans' wishes. He wrote on his blog, if nothing else, the forced isolation has helped me write. I am working on The Winds of Winter for many hours every day, and am making good progress. I just finished a new chapter, one from 3 days ago and one from last week. The book will not, however, be finished tomorrow or published the following week. I still have a long way to go, and it will be a large book. When Martin indicated he still had a ways to go, he wasn't joking. He said on his blog, I will make no predictions on when I will complete, in June 2021, seeming downright furious at the idea of being held accountable for all his missed deadlines. Every time I do, online assholes see it as a promise and wait impatiently to publicly humiliate me when I fail to meet the deadline. I'll just say that I'm optimistic. Concerning those holes on the internet, could he be referring to me? Martin certainly seemed to be tired of hearing from them. He opened out on the strain the Game of Thrones audience puts on him in an interview with IGN, saying, I understand why the 6th book, Winds of Winter, is late. Even if I receive 100 positive comments, a couple of my readers will still remind me on my blog. I will wish them a happy Thanksgiving, and they will reply, never mind, happy Thanksgiving. Where's the book? I adore the fans, despite the fact that I believe Twitter, the internet, and social media have unleashed a venom I haven't seen in years, particularly when it comes to things like comic books or any well-known properties. Love and hate are really close. Why don't you just finish the book, sir, if you can't stand the heat? Martin appears to have a new approach this year to divert attention from the book's lateness. He teases readers with suggestions about its content. The author discussed the differences between the book and the television series in a blog post. An architect might be able to respond to it with a short, clear, and straightforward statement, but I am much more of a gardener, he composed. As I write them, my stories adapt, develop, and grow. Sure, I generally know where I'm headed. The main scene pieces, the ultimate locations, have been in my thoughts for years, in the case of A Song of Ice and Fire, decades now. However, there are many little devils in the details, and occasionally, when the words flow, the ground shifts beneath my feet. Additionally, it appears like The Winds of Winter and A Song of Ice and Fire may have a different number of deaths than the television series. One thing I can say without giving anything away is that not every character who made it to the conclusion of Game of Thrones will make it to the end of A Song of Ice and Fire. And not every character who died on Game of Thrones will die in A Song of Ice and Fire. Some definitely will, no doubt, perhaps most. But by no means all, of course. With the chapter I write the next week, I might alter my mind once more. Gardening is that. Then what happens? You'll have to wait till I arrive. There will be some similarities. The majority won't. But George, when exactly are you going to arrive? Are we certain that all the missed deadlines were worth it for this incredibly lengthy, incredibly fantastic, nearly finished book? Even though it seems as though Martin's suffering would never end, we are still holding out hope. Hey buddy, do you know about Procrastinators Anonymous? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos.